Hi, good evening friends. Let's proceed further in this particular video walk of mine, wherein now I'll be talking about the kernel convolutions for the images under the playlist of image analysis. So here, whenever we use the word convolve of an image, try to understand that in our studios it turns out to be a function, and the name of the function is image underscore convolve, and we will see how to use them also in image analysis. Number one, now what does it do? It basically applies a kernel over the image. Now the question arises, what do you mean by kernel? Now try to understand that whenever we talk about images, we are talking about pixel values. Okay, now whenever I am using the function of kernel convolution, it means that we are talking about each and every pixel value, and this is being recalculated on the basis of the weights which are present in the neighborhood. Now we will see what we mean by that exactly, and what are we going to do? We are going to use the weighted neighborhood sum, which is defined in the kernel matrix. So let us first of all understand how simple kernel appears to be. So how do you write the script for that? We will create a matrix wherein the first value would be 0 obviously, and number of columns will be 3, number of rows would be 3. This is how we define a matrix, and this one is going to be saved in a data frame. We create a data frame which is called as kern, and so you will see that kern 1 and 2 will be this becomes a matrix again, and it's a data frame wherein we have got the value as 0.25. then we go for kernel 2 and we will bind 1 and the first row and the column with the same value as 0.25. similarly for the third column and the second row, so you will get the, again it's a data frame having the value of 0.25. now if you go ahead and start evaluating each one of them, you would see that yes, finally the kern that I am trying to print or to find out will appear to be somewhat like this. Now if you look in the output pane, you will see that the number of columns are 3, 1, 2, 3, and number of rows is also 1, 2, 3, wherein the first row, that is first row, first column, the value is 0.00. if you look at the first row and second column, it turns out to be 0.25, which exactly was defined in my second scripted line, and the last value will remain as 0.00. if I come to the second row and the first column, it would be 0.05. second row, second column, it is 0.00. second row, third column will be 0.25, and if I come to the third row, I can see that third row, first column will be 0.00, third column, third row and second column will be 0.25, and the last one, that is third row and third column, will be 0.00. so you will see that the kernel is changing the pixel to the mean of its horizontal and vertical neighboring pixels. That means we are going to look at the horizontal line and the vertical line, and we will look at its mean. Now you see, slowly I am entering into the statistical domain. However, here you have just seen what is the entire matrix in front of you and how the entire thing comes out to be. And this one, later on, if I have to go ahead and create an image on this basis, then you will see that the first image would be absolutely fine. Second image, wherein I can convolve and I can make my image blurred, so it will not be. So that is exactly what had happened in the case of Mr. Frink, where we blurred the entire image. Now similarly, if I have to even append the images, you will see I can take the image blurred and it can turn I can append it. So here we can see the images which are being flashed out on the plot part of the environment that we have got in the RS Studio pane. Have a look at it and you will be able to see step by step. So this is how you will go ahead and you will find out, and you can see in the first image, let me show it to you out here, and you will see immediately that yes, how the things are carrying forward and in what manner the things are coming in. So here you will see after the creation of the entire image matrix. Now if I want, I can show you step by step as to how the changes are coming in, so you can find out that what is happening. Now if I, this is for the kernel 1 and 2, so you can see what is the output coming out to be. If I go and run the second one, wherein kernel 2 and comma C bind 1 and 3 are there. Now let me go ahead and find out what exactly the value would be for this one. So you will see that the output, just have a look at the output pane and you will see how the values will be changing one after the other and to get the final output. So in the last one you can see the values have been flashed and how the values are being assigned with 0.025. Now if I run image, that is after resizing the main one, this one, so you can see now that goodbye to Mr. Frink for some time, and now comes in, and I don't know how many of you are aware of this is one of the images, for example, again this can be downloaded under the website of Genie, and if you download this particular character and if you place it, there are many varieties of genies, this is one of them. And what it does, it basically is that it is not available on this particular laptop of mine. However, on the other laptop I have got that one. What it does it is after every half an hour or like that, it starts animated character number 1, number 2, it starts talking to you whatever language you give it to this particular genie. The name itself is Genie. So this genie comes in here, like for example, I have fed my name as Ramsey, so Genie talks to me and it says Genie talks to me saying that, hey Ramsey, you want me to read the newspaper for you? I think you're getting bored, let me sing a song for you. So if I have fed in some of the songs, let's say on Western classic music by Bach or Mozart and all those things, if I'm really interested to listen, so this one definitely goes ahead, identifies that particular website and it is able to play that song for me. Or if I have given it that yes, it captures also sometimes. For example, I'm very fond of Papa Vinny song, if you have heard the song by Rutsi Boopsi by Papa Vinny, you will see now it plays to me, you are my sunshine, yeah, you are my sunshine, yo. So you will understand. Or Air Supply songs, especially I love those romantic songs a lot, and Air Supply, it keeps capturing those songs for me and it plays. So similarly, if it wants to share a joke, for example, it on that particular laptop, if I'm working continuously, Ginny comes in and say, hey, I'm sleeping for such a long time, let me wake up and sing a song for you, can I dance on this song for you, because I keep watching those dance reality shows or something or the other thing, or you want to watch a movie or your favorite Garfield is waiting for you, so it keeps talking. So this is that particular image, and this one is something that I have downloaded. Now if I want to convolve it, now let me show it to you. When I make the image blurred, how the image would be coming in for this particular blurred one. So let me just enter once and you will see immediately how the thing comes in for the image blurred. So here can you see the difference from the earlier one, and now the image is not very clear. So you are able to capture this kind of stuff. Now for example, now I want to append it, so if I just clear it out, now you can see that it has come back to its original form, whereas the image which is present on the right hand side side, if you have got good eyesight, you can see that yes, there is a lot of difference between both the images, so sometimes when you are playing with the images, or you want to analyze certain images which have been given to you, these kind of things really help you out. Now this is another one wherein we can go ahead and we can negate the images, so you can see how the negation is coming in. So all the bright colors which were present, it has left over there, and you are able to understand and see that yes, these are taking place. Now this is one kind of image negation. There is another way to find out, and this one, so can you see earlier one? Let me just run the earlier one. This one, you can see that at least the outline is there, whereas in the second negation part, it's only like a watermark. Now that's the word I would like to use it. I don't know how many of you love watermarks on your presentations or videos, or even on the Word files that you are preparing or designing for yourself. You will see that these kind of things are taking place in the image analysis, and it really helps you in the long run also, side by side. And for each one of these things, if you want, you can even save them, which I'll be showcasing to you later on also. You can print, you can save, DevOps simple script is there, and these things will be saved, these images, and you can use them in whatever way you feel like. Okay, that's number one. And I think I'm going to end here for the ways in which we have gone ahead and we have understood how to go ahead and understand the philosophy of kernel convolutions. So let me come up in my next video walk, wherein we can understand how to add text annotations for the images also. Now that's a wonderful thing which I really like it. And sometimes, when you have got the images, for example, I'm a photographer also. Now my photography, I have such a beautiful collection of photographs that I fear to post them at least on the Google Photos or somewhere. I don't even like to go ahead and make it as a Pinterest or collection or wherever it is possible on the public domain. I have kept them. Now sometimes even if I want to use it, I prefer to add the annotations into it and then go ahead, especially for some photographic exhibitions, or let's say if I'm entering for some competition for the photographs, at that time I go ahead and I use a lot of text annotation. So let us go ahead and learn how to add the text annotations in my next video walk of mine. Till then, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.